Hello, everyone. Welcome to tutorial number 6 of the Cultivating Mindfulness-Based Resilience seminar series. This is a seminar series that has been ongoing at two prison facilities in the Philippines. The Correctional Institution for Women in Mandaluyong City, Metro Manila, which houses more than 3,300 female inmates, and the other prison is the Leyte Regional Prison in Abuyog City in Leyte Province, housing more than 2,200 male inmates. One of the things that I like to point out is that if we look at our lives, what you do, what I do, we go through life and we have a lot of problems. We experience suffering of all kinds. But if we were to think about what these incarcerated communities, these incarcerated people are going through, by far, the incarcerated communities are the people with the greatest level of suffering. Not only are they deprived of basic necessities, deprived of their freedom, their liberty, they are also experiencing inadequacy in even the most basic necessities like hygiene, health, and comfort, and various necessities that you and I take for granted. But they are deprived of all that. So they're really undergoing quite a bit of suffering. It is very important for us as human beings to learn to share our empathy and compassion towards the suffering of others. Now, in Buddhism, there is a very important word called metta, M-E-T-T-A, that is often translated to mean friendliness, loving kindness, altruism, empathy, sympathy, and compassion. But my teacher, Venerable Dr. Punaji, he has actually translated the word metta into a very meaningful term, which is universal benevolence. Basically, talking about our ability to express our heartfelt benevolence and put into practice this feeling of sympathy and transform it into action, which is commonly called compassion. So it is important for us to learn how to share our empathy and our compassion towards these suffering beings. Now, in my case, I have used the word metta as an acronym to, to mean magnanimous, empathetic, thoughtful, tender, and altruistic. Magnanimous in our attitude towards what other people are going through so that we become selfless, we become generous. That's the meaning of the word magnanimous, to be generous in a selfless way. And we have to learn to understand what other people are going through, the suffering they're going through, empathy, empathetic. And then, of course, we have a certain feeling towards them. So we have to be very empathetic and thoughtful in our feelings towards what other people are going through. And whatever action we take, we have to do it with tenderness. And of course, all that is done with altruistic intentions. So metta, M-E-T-T-A, turns out to be a very helpful acronym to mean magnanimous, empathetic, thoughtful, tender, and altruistic. Without further ado, we'll just take a look at what really makes people suffer. So we've basically classified these causes of suffering into three major categories of things going on around us, whatever we are experiencing. First, we are experiencing emotional arousal. When something happens and arouses our emotion, it brings a lot of pain in our heart. And basically, we call this traumatic experiences, arousing our emotions of fear, anger, anxiety, distress, frustration, and various kinds of painful emotions. The second category of things happening around us that brings us suffering is adversities, things going wrong. They lead to threats and conflicts, right? Problems, troubles, difficulties, obstructions, and all kinds of things that represent threats and conflicts to our survival and our well-being. And the third category is basically things happening with a lot of uncertainties because life is impermanent. Life is uncertain. So we don't know what's going to happen next. And this can lead to confusion and perplexity. And people who are incarcerated in the prisons, they experience extreme forms of these uncertainties. Many of them have no idea when they're going to be released, even though they know their sentence will last so many years. Sometimes the years go by and they are not yet released. So they are going through a kind of uncertainty, perplexity, and confusion in their mind that we can never understand. In fact, we in our free world, we can never understand what these incarcerated people are going through. So I hope that this seminar series will help them because they are experiencing all kinds of emotional, physiological, and psychological suffering that you and I can never really understand unless we go through that ourselves. But by just looking at it from the outside, even for myself, when I enter there and I see them, many of them still able to smile, but I can never understand that they are going through a kind of suffering that it's very difficult to explain. So we have to learn to be empathetic and compassionate towards their suffering. And that's why I developed this seminar series called Cultivating Mindfulness-Based Resilience to help them learn to be tough, mental toughness, and to learn to be flexible, mental agility, so that they are able to recover quickly and adapt easily to their traumatic experiences, emotional distress, to the adversities, the threats, and the conflicts they're going through, and to the confusion and the perplexity and uncertainties that they experience. So this is what this seminar series aims to do. So today we're going to cover the sixth tutorial, which will be covering how we help people to learn to let go and recover from their emotional distress. Right? So mindfulness-based resilience, as I mentioned, is helping people to learn to cultivate mental toughness, and this is the mental strength to help people recover from stressful situations, and also to cultivate mental flexibility, so that they are able to learn and adjust themselves and maneuver and adapt themselves to the circumstances, so that they are less likely to suffer more if the same circumstances arise again. So they learn to recover and adapt to traumatic experiences, to adversities, and to uncertainties. Now, if we are to look at what people go through, right, in their suffering, it is very simply put, people experience all kinds of things happening around us. We experience many things going on around us, and then something goes wrong. And it can arouse our emotion, or it can actually create problems, threats, and conflicts towards us, or it can create a lot of uncertainties. And people have a tendency to react immediately to it. And when we are unmindful and these stressful circumstances arise and we react immediately to it without thinking through it, without being mindful about what's happening to us, we will experience this physical discomfort because it produces the release of stress hormones that causes discomfort in the body and also disturbs the mind, mental disturbances, emotional distress. Stress is the physical suffering. Distress is the psychological suffering. So we're going through two kinds of suffering in the body, in the mind, right? So basically, if we have to learn to do something about it. And if at this point, when we experience suffering and we don't do anything about it, it can get out of control. It leads into a kind of emotional chain reaction and makes us now experience very deep emotional pain. And it is these emotional disturbances that actually makes our suffering worse. And if we still don't learn to do something about it, it gets out of control. And it causes all kinds of mental proliferation and making us even go crazy and leading to depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, psychological disorder, and also hurting our body, chronic illnesses, and health issues arising. So we're going to learn how to deal with them. And one of the things that I teach these persons deprived of liberty. Oh, by the way, I want to highlight this term. In the Philippines, the Bureau of Correction has has done a great job in using the term persons deprived of liberty when they refer to prison inmates. They don't call them prisoners, they don't call them convicts, like they don't call them criminals, and they don't call them even inmates. Although inmate is quite a fair term to use, but even that term they don't use very much. They call them PDL, which stands for persons deprived of liberty. So when I do this seminar in the prisons, one of the important things I teach them to help themselves is that when they experience stress and they start to realize stress is arising in them, they must not react immediately, because this is where all of us go wrong. When we experience stress, when we experience circumstances that arouse emotions or create threats and conflicts or create uncertainties, we have a tendency to react immediately. And this reaction leads to to an emotional chain reaction that makes things worse for us, even leading us into deep states of depression. So what I teach them is when they experience these stressful conditions, they need to cultivate mindfulness to be aware something is happening in them, that the body is now changing. Now the body is all tensed up. The mind is getting all confused, right? The mind is getting disturbed. Once they are able to realize that is happening to them, they must learn to pause, relax, and then think about how they can overcome the problem. Pausing allows time for the emotional excitement and anxiety to calm down. Also, for the hormonal reactions in the body, the stress hormones to subside. But that's not enough. You need to consciously, intentionally relax the body. And this conscious, intentional relaxation using deep breathing as a simple technique, this helps to relax the body and compose the mind. And so that when the mind is adequately composed, we can then think rationally. We can purposefully focus on wholesome and beneficial response to the problem that causes all this suffering. So this is really the simple technique. This is the first step of intervention. Pause, relax, and then think. And this can help you intervene the stressful circumstances arising so that stress does not go out of control and stress does not control you. You learn to calm your stressful situations and take control of your own life. And the think part, I also teach them. Think, THINK, is a very powerful acronym to help them to choose their thoughts, choosing truthful thoughts, helpful thoughts, improving thoughts, and thoughts that are necessary to help themselves, and most importantly, kind thoughts. So now let's take a look at how we can put in this intervention when we experience this vicious cycle of emotions. So when we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch things that are happening, arousing emotions, creating the perception of threats and conflicts, uncertainties, and we're feeling emotionally disturbed. So when that is happening, mindfulness helps you become aware. And if you are mindful, then you are aware all this is happening. That is the first point of intervention. Do not react immediately when you are feeling stress. Learn to pause, relax, and then think, because then you can think truthful thoughts, helpful thoughts, thoughts that can help you to improve the situation, and get rid of thoughts that are unnecessary. Right? Only carry good thoughts and kind thoughts to help yourself. And if you can do that, you can then uh, calm down your emotional excitement and relax the body so that you can experience bodily comfort and emotional composure. When that happens, you transform this vicious cycle of emotions into virtuous cycle of composure. So now your body is relaxed and your mind is composed. You're thinking of how you can help yourself to solve the problem. And if you can do that, carry these good thoughts with you. This is really mindful resiliency. And there are 4 exercises that I introduced to them to help them cultivate this mindful resiliency. Learning to relax, learning to relieve stress tensions, learning to recover from emotional disturbances, and learning to cultivate this mental toughness, resiliency, mental toughness, and mental agility. By doing so, it can help them recover quickly and adapt easily to the stressful circumstances they undergo. And this is really cultivating mental toughness and agility. And this is the essence of mindfulness based resilience. Okay. And if we can do that, this is the whole purpose, is to help them eventually benefit from it. And the greatest benefit I can help them with is to bring them and help them to get into a state where they experience healthy body, peaceful mind, caring heart, and motivated spirit. So this is really what this program hopes to instill in them. Healthy body, peaceful mind, caring heart, and motivated spirit. These will be really priceless benefits that they can experience if they are able to practice this successfully. I'm going to just to show you, see, in this correctional institution for women, that when they attend this seminar, look at what happens to them. They look so happy, right? But of course, that is only momentary during the seminar. When they go back to their normal life, they will experience all kinds of stress and suffering. But if they remember the lessons they learned, then they will be able to recover from it. And basically, all I can do, the most I can do, is to plant the seeds in their mind, teach them these techniques, planting seeds in their mind, and it's up to them. That's why I tell them, if it is to be, it is up to me. So they have to put it into practice to help themselves. Not only at the Correctional Institution for Women in Mandaluyong City, but also at the Leyte Regional Prison in Abuyog City in Leyte Province, right? Where these are the men persons deprived of liberty, the males. So you can see how happy they are when they go through the seminar. So hopefully, all I can do is plant the seeds in their mind and they learn to make use of it. If it is to be, it is up to me. Okay. Now, there are 4 categories of exercises. These are 4 stages, actually. 4 stages of exercises that I teach them to apply. First is to learn to relax. When they experience stress, learn to relax, because relaxation prevents more stress from happening, prevents stress from getting out of control. And then they learn to relieve, so that, even though you learn to relax when you're getting stressed, there's still some parts of your body that is still tense. Learn to release them. So stress relief exercises help to release stress tensions that are remaining in the various parts of the body. And then the third one is the calming the emotions. This is the recovery part. Because if your emotions can be calm and your mind is now more composed, and that really can help you recover from your stressful situation. And that is what we're going to focus on today. The exercises to do with this recovery part, calming emotional arousals. And finally, to help them develop and cultivate the mental toughness and the mental agility so that they are able to learn how to recover quickly and adapt easily. So today we will focus on this third stage here. In the previous 5 tutorials from tutorial number 1 to number 5, we have already covered relax and relief. So today we're going to take a look at recover, the part where we calm our emotional arousals. So I'm going to show you two video clips, what I do with them. Most importantly is that, I remind them. This is a very important mantra they have to learn. I took this from Viktor Frankl, but of course you will notice that I'm using Wonder Woman and Spider-Man. These are superheroes I use as icons for inspiration so that they're inspired. I will tell them, oh, Wonder Woman says this or Spider-Man says this, but this is a very powerful mantra that came from Viktor Frankl. It says, when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. So when the incarcerated communities, when they're going through this suffering, they can't change their situation so easily, but they can learn to change themselves. That's why this, if it is to be, it is up to me. And that mantra is also a very powerful mantra for them. So teaching them these mantras are planting seeds in their mind. And that reminds them easily because this saying, it's easy for them to remember. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. If it is to be, it is up to me. So these are the things they can remember, and then they can do something about it. Okay. So let's take a look at this recovery stage of exercises, the art of letting go. So the first video clip I'm going to show you now. Okay, moving on. Now we learn about recovery, the art of letting go, calming our emotions. Now, this very famous psychologist, William James, he said very clearly, he says, the greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. Because sometimes we have good thoughts, sometimes we have bad thoughts. So choose good thoughts, choose peaceful thoughts, choose happy thoughts. Let go, don't worry, let it all go. Well, never mind all the bad thoughts. Right? Learn to let it go. So what are the 3 steps? Self-compassion, number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Think. Right. Think is a powerful acronym, very useful. If you want to figure out, what can I think? How can I think? Use THINK to guide you. T stands for what? Very important always. Think truthful thoughts. Okay? Don't think of bad thoughts. Don't think of thoughts that are wrong. Bad thoughts. Think truthful thoughts. H is also very important. Every thought you have, make sure it is helpful. And when you have to work with people, I is also very important. Whatever you do with other people, make sure it will improve the situation, darling. Improve the situation. Oh, very darling, this group is good, I like. Yeah. Now, sometimes some things are good to say, but some things you shouldn't say. So
Say it only if it is necessary. Okay. But finally, the last one is the most important and the most powerful. Whatever you think, whatever you speak, whatever you do, make sure it is done. Very good, darling. Very good. Very good. Yay! Very good. Very good. Yay! This group is very good.
So now you have seen in that first video clip there, uh, we help them to learn to choose their thoughts. And choosing thoughts, we use THINK as a powerful acronym to help people to choose good thoughts, making sure that whatever thoughts they choose, T stands for truthful, H for helpful, I for improving, and then N only if it is necessary. And finally, the most important and powerful part is the K, the kind thoughts. So truthful, helpful, improving, necessary, and kind thoughts. Help them to choose their thoughts. Now, in this next exercise, I get them to relax. I get them to allow their breathing to flow naturally and focus on their breathing, observing their breathing. And then also I'm playing some soft music in the background, and I get them to observe how their body is feeling and sensations of relaxation. Any part of their body is feeling tense, learn to release the tension. And most importantly, they keep their eyes closed and they listen to the soft music, rivers flowing, birds chirping, and then I'm giving them guidance with positive affirmations. And these positive affirmations is to plant good thoughts in their mind. And also, we can't stop sometimes the mind running away and having these disturbing or disruptive thoughts popping up from time to time, thinking about yesterday's problems or whatever, or worrying about what's going to happen next. All these disruptive thoughts popping up, I teach them from Herbert Benson. If you have been paying attention to tutorial number 5, you will have learned that Herbert Benson teaches us the 2-step relaxation response. And in that teaching, I get people to use this mantra. When disruptive thoughts arise in the mind, learn to let it go, and by brushing it away with a gentle passive response, well, never mind. This well, never mind really helps people to let go these disruptive thoughts. So this is really the mantra we use. Well, never mind. Okay. So now you can join in along and join us. Do that. Now sit back, relax, and allow your breathing to flow naturally. Then observe which part of your body is still feeling tensed. Consciously focus on that part of your body. Release the tension. So now everybody put down whatever you're holding and just sit back and relax. And I'm going to play you the video clip and you just follow along and see if you can experience this mindful breath visualization. And then together with what my guidance through this positive affirmations. So just sit back, relax, and allow your breathing to flow naturally and follow along the guidance in this video clip.
Now we're going to do some mindful breath visualization. So everybody, now you can sit down, sit back, relax, okay? Allow your breathing to flow naturally. So put down your things, place your hands on the table or the lap, whatever makes you feel comfortable, and then allow your breathing to slow down. Take a slow breathing, and now you focus your mind on your body, sensation of relaxation. Any part of your body is feeling tense, let go, release the tension. Keep your eyes closed, so we can do this with the eyes closed in a moment. And pay attention to my guidance on the screen. Okay, so, and if at any time unhappy thoughts rise in your mind, what do you do?
Now well, never mind.
Okay? So now, everybody, sit back and relax. You may now begin to close your eyes. And listen to the sound and the guidance. As you hear the river flowing, you feel more and more relaxed. With the sound of the river, it makes you more and more relaxed. Take a deep breath in and then breathe out slowly. Another deep breath in and then breathing out, slow breath. Take one more deep breath in and then breathing out. And just listen to the soft music. And as you hear the sound flowing music, say to yourself, I am relaxed, I am calm, I am peaceful. I feel strong, I feel healthy, I feel happy. Take a deep breath in and then breathing out. Take another deep breath in and then keep breathing out. As you do that, say to yourself, I am getting stronger and stronger, healthier and healthier every day. I am getting stronger and stronger, healthier and healthier every day. And as you remember your life flowing by, forgive yourself. Say to yourself, I forgive myself for hurting myself out of anger, fear, frustration, or anxiety. Say to yourself, I forgive myself for hurting myself out of anger, fear, frustration, or anxiety. I am grateful for the blessings that have brought me comfort, peace, and happiness. I am grateful for the blessings that have brought me comfort, peace, and happiness. Take another deep breath in, then breathing out. Take another deep breath in and then breathing out. And you realize there are many things in this world to be grateful for. Say to yourself, I am grateful for the lessons I learned from my own mistakes. I am grateful for the lessons I learned from my own mistakes. I am grateful for the blessings that allowed me to experience life, sharing love, peace, and happiness with all my friends and family. I am grateful for the blessings that allowed me to experience life, sharing love, peace, and happiness with all my friends and family. I am safe, I am happy, I am loved, I am alive. I am safe, I am happy, I am loved, I am alive. Take a deep breath in, then breathing out. Take another deep breath in, and then breathing out. Slowly, you may now open your eyes and return. Okay.
So as you can see, this is the positive affirmations that I instill in their mind. These are little seeds planted in their mind. So this is really the positive affirmations. Hopefully, now you have learned something from today's sharing, tutorial number 6. Hopefully, all this can help you realize that if we were to practice this diligently and learn to benefit from these practices, we will help ourselves to cultivate healthy body, peaceful mind, caring heart, and motivated spirit. And with that, I end my presentation.